all of Jofra Archer that's been built up, I think this is the one game.
This is the one game. And the fact that, Chris Jordan came to Barbados, saw him there, spotted him, spoke to him and said, you're better off playing there. So they'll feel doubly cheated. This guy was literally there for us and one day he's gone.
Yeah, but then they only have themselves to blame, right? As in, how do you not pick a guy of his caliber in your under-19 World Cup squad in 2014? And it's 5 years ago. He's been as good for the last 4 years, yeah, and playing BBL and playing the CPL and all of that. So they only have, the Caribbeans have only themselves to blame as far as him playing for England is concerned. But I think it's going to be a great game for him. I think he'll feel a little torn because it's probably one of his first game against West Indies, right?
Yes,
so he'll be a little torn. It'll take a little getting used to, I think, in being in this situation where he's playing against his own in a way.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's going to be a little chatter out there whenever he comes into bowl, as in when the other batsmen do break their concentration to do that. Jason Holder had a few things to say about this whole move from Barbados. He said he's seen Jofra over the years. Obviously, a Barbadian or a Bajan is what they generally refer to them as. He's grown up in Barbados playing cricket, so what I'm seeing of Jofra doesn't surprise me. But the big thing that he said is it's unfortunate how things went down in terms of his decision making, but he's a good talent. He throws it in at the end.
That's true. But, as he said, fact of the matter is if you want to make a living playing cricket and playing this thing, county cricket is probably the safest way. The IPL's come recently and it's just a 2-month tournament. But if you want to play around the year, county cricket is probably the safest place to land in terms of the amount of money in the game and the amount of, the ability to keep playing. So I think he would have made a very conscious decision at some point in time. And for whatever it's worth, the interesting thing was how England kept saying, no, we are not considering him because he's just got... Michael Vaughan was here 2 months, 3 months back during the IPL and he turned around and said, they're going to play him this 5-match series and he's going to play for England. Forget about being in the 15. He will start every match for England. He was very clear about that.
Yeah. I can tell you, Robin, he was sitting in that very chair, Michael Vaughan, and the team was announced. The first time the preliminary squad was announced, Jofra was not in that. They announced him in the team to play in the UAE, and Michael Vaughan was unequivocal. We thought he'd be like, oh, is that so? He said, doesn't matter. He is on that plane to England, or staying in England, not going anywhere. And there was no question about the fact that they just had to ease him in. I think there were a few ego issues happening with the bowlers who might get left out, the likes of David Willey, and who is it that would make way for Jofra Archer, and they actually released statements.
Yeah, but then you see the quality and the caliber of the bowler also counts, right, at this stage. If you've done your yards there and played 4 years of domestic cricket, then you earn the right to play for that country, right? So it doesn't matter who you are, and if you've done your yards and if you've actually put in the work to play for that country, then you should be treated as a local and as a domicile and make him play nonetheless. And they've made the right decision. Best decision England could have made for themselves.